everyone, I thought I'd do a little chatty Q&A get ready with me today because I really want to get into posting on YouTube and everything, and I feel like we could just have a little chat, have a little catch up, get yourself a drink. I've got a coffee, vanilla of course, and get ready together. Also ignore my hair, I did heatless curls last night and this one's staying in and this one's not. I have a fat to-do list today of things that I need to get done, so I just thought let's just get ready and then I feel more motivated. Hopefully. So the first question is, what are some of the goals you want to achieve in your lifetime? I think this is such a good question. Like, I feel like I need to start asking people this. Sorry, let's ignore Woody. He's currently licking himself. That's nice. This is like, I have realistic goals and then I have unrealistic goals. Always wanted to be a mum. That's like up there on one of my biggest goals. Like, just gonna use some concealer. So I've got like my big life goals of like, I want to have children and I want to like have a family and have like a nice house and like be successful. But in terms of like my lifetime goals, I think they'll be developed at different stages of my life, if that makes sense. Like, I have like goals for my gap year, like traveling and being like successful in like my job and passing my driving test, like working my mental health, working my physical health, like all those kind of things. But I think in terms of like lifetime goals, obviously I've got my major ones, but I can't really think, apart from like, obviously I'd love to grow my media platform and everything. So yeah, I think they would be my goals. That's probably not a very good answer, but I think obviously my goals would change throughout my life, and obviously things change, like, so you never know. Coffee break. I'm going to use the Made by Mitchell curve case. This is in shade medium. This is such a good palette, I love it. Use caramel chisel. The next question is, how did you get through A-levels and still have time for yourself? This is such a good question. I'm using the wrong brush. I was wondering why it wasn't applying like how I wanted it to. Okay, I've put on a jumper because my window's open and I got quite cold. What is happening with the weather at the moment? Honestly, I sound like a middle-aged woman, but it is crazy. But genuinely, like, there were times where I just felt ill or like mentally I couldn't focus, and I generally think listen to your body, like listen to how you're feeling. If you wake up one day and you're like, I can't, like the amount of times I sat at my desk and I tried to revise and I couldn't focus and I forced myself to, and then it's up being counterproductive. So I think it's really important to like schedule in breaks for yourself, or like have a cut-off time, if that makes sense. So like, I always had a rule, I wouldn't revise past 6 o'clock at night. So say if I got home from school or I was revising on the day because of study leave or whatever, at 6 o'clock stop. No matter what point I'm at, I'd stop what I'm doing, watch something. Like, I'd have like a comfort series. Like, that's really important. Oh, that's another tip, don't start a new series. I didn't start the new Bridgerton, I'm literally just waffling, but I didn't start the new Bridgerton series until after my A-levels because I knew that I was going to get like, I just want to watch it. So I had like a comfort series on that I loved, but something that I wasn't gonna want to watch all the time, if that makes sense. Like, scheduling time for yourself is so important. Go like into more depth about this and everything, but what I do is schedule, like have a plan for the week. So I'd be like, okay, this is everything I want to revise this week, on a list, and then nearer, like as my A-levels got nearer, I then put this on a timetable. But not like, I wouldn't schedule times, I just scheduled days that I designated days that I do things. And yeah, I'm happy to go like into more depth about this if this would help. But I'd obviously make sure I got all my tasks done on it, and then I'd have the weekend to then transfer things. But I still did things on the weekend. Like, I still went out with my friends and had like catch-up dinners, or I had like rehearsals, or whatever I was doing. I just think it's so important if you plan what you're doing. So you have, this is what I want to do today. When that's done, I have all the time in the world. So like, I'd go out in the evening, so I'd revise in the afternoon, in the morning, and then I could go out in the evening because I got everything on my plan done. So I generally think just being organised with yourself and knowing what you're going to do each day really helps, because then you know, okay, I've got time to go out, or I've got time to see my friends, or I've got time to like do some self-care. That is definitely another thing, is do self-care, designate time for yourself, because it's so important to listen to your body and look after yourself. Okay, contour and bronzer is done. Yay. But yeah, genuinely designate time for yourself, time to do things for you. That is like so important. Schedule self-care evenings. I feel like if you guys want me to go into more depth about what exactly I did, just let me know, because I'd honestly be so happy to. But yeah, just have time for yourself and remember it's okay to take breaks. Okay, so the next question is how to remain so positive. And this is so hard because my mum's very positive and I feel like I am just like a positive person because of like my mum and everything like that. But I also do think it's like I've kind of like not trained my mind, but I've adopted a mindset which helps me stay positive. Let me put this blush on. This is the Melon Sorbet blush. This is my favourite. Like, it's so pigmented, but it blends so easily. In terms of remaining positive, I have a mindset of I think everything happens for a reason. And it's a very controversial way of thinking, and I understand that some people don't like to think like this, and that's completely okay. And obviously the way we all like to think and cope with things is very different. But personally, the way I like to think is everything happens for a reason, and if things happen that aren't exactly what I'd hope for or don't go the way that I want them to, I think of it as that happened for a reason because it's taught me a lesson or it's helping me shape myself into the person I'm meant to be, and all things like that. And I find that really helps me remain positive and helps me think. Okay, I'll give you an example. So the other day I failed my driving test, which obviously is very annoying because obviously you spend money on the lessons and it's hard to get a test, and it is like, it was devastating. I was annoyed, and I think what's important is you don't have to like suppress those feelings of being annoyed, if that makes sense. Like, I was letting myself be upset, I was letting myself to be frustrated at myself, but equally because my feelings were completely valid, but equally I was saying to my mum and saying to my friends, I generally think I failed for a reason. I failed because I hit the curb in my parallel park, which was so embarrassing. Like, I literally went whoop onto the curb. Wasn't good, but I think that happened in my head. It happened for a reason because I didn't feel that confident. I had a lot of breaks between my lessons for whatever reason, through A levels or through just like my driving instructor not having time or like all that kind of thing. And my test like got cancelled, so then I had a break throughout the whole of summer and like all that kind of thing. But I didn't feel that confident. So say if I passed that day and I got a car and I was ready to drive, I don't think I would feel 100% confident in myself to drive on my own, for example, or drive with other people in the car. And I think I need more time to practice and I need like more lessons and to feel more confident, because I can drive, but I am quite an anxious driver in the sense that there's a few things that I feel like I need touching up on and I feel like I need reassurance of how to do. So whilst it was really annoying, I was like, that's happened for a reason because it means I'm not ready yet, and it means I need more practice and I need to build my confidence. And that really helped me not being so upset, me just finding the positive in bad situations. This has really flopped, but I completely understand that sometimes it's really hard to find the positive situations, and sometimes there are situations where you can't find the positive, and that is so hard and it's so sad because you'll be sitting there and you'll feel so lost and you'll feel like, I don't know what I'm meant to do. But first of all, it's completely okay to feel sad. Like, it's a natural human feeling and it's okay to not be positive all the time, because if we were all positive all the time, like, imagine we'd all walk around the streets being like, whoa, it's raining, like, I'm so happy. Like, that was such a bad example, that was so cringe, but you know what I mean? Like, you're allowed to feel upset. If things don't go your way, you're okay. And some things, there are situations where you can't find the positive, and that's okay. But I always like to think there's always light at the end of the tunnel, and whilst things are shit now, it will get better. Like, it will get better. It's not it won't get better, it will get better. Joy in the little things. Like, if you know me, you know I love like the little things. Like, really little things make me really excited and make me really happy, and I think that's really a nice way to like think about things. Like, if you like the little things, it makes life a lot easier, because it's like you don't need a lot to make you happy. So also reading a book at the moment which is called Good Vibes Good Life, and that's really helping me. But again, it's like, it's just like who you are and what helps you and like how you deal with things, but the way you deal with things is valid. Like everyone deals with things differently, and the way I deal with things might not work for you, and that's okay. Like it's completely subjective and unique to you. Next question is my favorite movie. I love this question. This is so like wholesome. I feel like we've been talking about such like deep things, and then this is so light, but I love it. My favorite movie is, I think I'd say Enchanted. Always loved Enchanted as a movie. I just think it's so like, I just love it. Like I love cute movies like that. Enchanted, and they put it on, it was on Disney Plus, and I was so happy. And also like Frozen is one of my favorite movies. And what else do I like? Like I'm not a big movie person, I can't lie. Like I love watching a movie, but I have quite a low attention span. Like I'd rather watch a series. Like if someone's like, oh, let's watch a movie, I'm like, yeah, you know, I don't know if you get that, but I do like it, but it's not my favourite thing to watch a movie. But I'd say Enchanted was my favourite. Skincare, hair and makeup faves. Oh, I love this question so much. You like that? Oh, I love this question. I think, you know that TikTok sound, you know? Oh my god, I got a really itchy nose. Like I'm trying to like itch my nose with my brush. Set my makeup. I'm trying to go on for like a no makeup look, and I don't know if it's worked. Skincare faves, the La Roche-Posay, I never know how to say that, the thing, the like the B5 balm. I love that. That's really helped my skin a lot. And also the vitamin E products from Body Shop, that really helped my skin. I mean, I don't know if it's helping as much anymore because I think maybe my skin's a bit used to it, but those products really help. The Simple range, I really love those products. I think they're so good. But yeah, definitely my top ones would be the B5 balm and vitamin E spray. Makeup faves, definitely since I've got it, the Curve case, the Made by Mitchell one. Oh my gosh, I love it. Like I really love cream products. I absolutely love them. And then I'd also say the Maybelline Sky High Mascara. I refuse to buy a new one because they're £11, so I'm like using this until it's dried. But I've been trying to like buy new mascaras to find a new one, but this one is just the best. And then also the Revolution concealer, I love that. That is just so good. And then hair faves, Eco Gel. I love Eco Gel so much. Like it's so good because it doesn't, like, you know when you gel your hair, like with other gels before, I found I gel my hair and then it will feel like crusty. Like I can't, so once you put the gel in, you can't have any other hairstyle. Like you can't have it down, whatever, because your hair's like crusty. But with this gel, it slicks your hair back so nicely. But if I want to have my hair down the next day, or I want to have it half up, half down, it almost like you can brush it out, or you can like style it in a way that it looks clean, and it's like, oh, I just love it. It's so good. So recommend that. Okay, I feel like I'm waffling. Oh, what are you planning on doing in your gap year? I am planning, I have lots of different goals, and again, I can do a video on my gap year goals if anyone's interested, because I have a fat list on my phone. But my main things that I want to do in my gap year is obviously just working and earning like money. And I've obviously had like a few interviews, and I'm hopefully going to like go into more like management jobs, just to be a bit higher up and things like that. But I'd also obviously traveling, so I'm going to Italy with my best friend in 2 weeks, which is so exciting. And also we want to go to Bali as well next year, but also just like going on like little holidays. Like my boyfriend got me like a holiday for my birthday last year, so he's like planning that, and he wants to take me to like this secret garden camping site, but then he realized it's like 2 years book in advance, and obviously we want to go soon. So he's like still planning that, so I'm really excited to go on holiday with him again. And just like I'm gonna go on little trips with my friends. Like I want to go to Paris, like, you know, just like little like travel holidays with my family and friends. Also just like genuinely like making memories, like doing like nice things, like going out, could do like socializing, like different, like, you know, like when people do like alphabet dating. I'm trying to convince my best friend Emily, who I'm going to Italy with, to do alphabet like best friend dating. So like we can do like loads of different activities, like with I'm trying to convince her. It's a work in progress. But yeah, I really want to do all that. And also just like working on myself. Like, I know that's so cringe, but like, you know, working on my mental health, working on my physical health, like kind of just like having a year of like finding things I love, like just generally like having fun, and also getting work experience. Like, I'm doing a few work experience things, which is exciting. That's my current plan for my gap year. But obviously there's no like standard for what you, I need to stop waving that around, but there's no like standard for what you need to do in your gap year. Like, I definitely felt quite like lost with it, in the sense that I was like, oh, like what do I do? Like, what do people, because you see people like do gap years. I'm gonna gel my eyebrows first actually. But you see people in gap years who like achieve so much, or like they do so many things, and I was like, what, like what's the standard for a gap year? But then I was like, well, there isn't one. Like, you just have to do what you want to do. Like, everyone is on their own individual paths, and you have to do something that's what you want to do. And I'm really trying to come to terms with that mindset, like having to do, like doing things that I want to do, and I don't have to do what other people are doing, kind of thing. But that's a whole other topic that I can go into in another video. I feel like this video is just setting me up to do loads of different chatty videos, if you want, of course. Next question is, how are you coping with one of your best friends moving to uni? This is such a lovely question. It's very weird, I must say. Like, it's weird because I feel like you adapt quickly. Like, I'm already used to it, but there are times that I'm like, I want to see Phoebe. Like, Phoebe is one of my best friends who've moved to uni, but also just genuinely like loads of my really good friends, like my drama group at school, we were all in the same drama class, and we like became so close, and I really miss them. Like, just being able to be like, come round, let's do something, let's go out. Like, all of them, like some of them have moved to uni, some of them have moved like in together away and stuff, and like I'm the last one in that group who's like still in this area, and it's just weird them not being here. And it is weird, but I think like I know that I'm going to see them again. Like, it's not like I'm never going to see them again. And it's hard because I don't know if anyone else is getting this, but like whose friends have moved away to uni, or if they're having a gap year, whatever, but you want to let them have space, and like I want to let them get used to where they are, and stuff. Like, I don't want to smother them, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want to kind of like, you've kind of got to let them move on, but not in a way like move on for the friendship, but just like let them adjust to the new scene, because obviously it must be so hard to move to a completely new place. And then I just don't want to completely like bombard everyone with like, I miss you, and like, oh my god, let's like, here's what's happening, like, because it's scary for them as well. So I think it's finding that balance between like, I love you and I miss you, but also like, I want you to make new friends and like, you know, have new space. But I do miss my friends a lot. Like Phoebe, we always went out on drives together, and we had like monthly dinner. Yeah, also this is so stupid, but basically she drives like a Fiat, like a white Fiat, and I've always, like, ever since she got her car, like every time one drives past, I always like look to see if she's in it, and I've still been doing it even though she's at uni, and I'm like, that's so sad. But yeah, I'm definitely like coping. I'm like definitely coping. Like, it's not like I'm crying in my room every day or anything. Like, I really miss her, but I also want her and like all my amazing friends who've gone to uni to like be happy and have their like space and get used to like their new life. And I love hearing about it. Like, I love hearing about what they're doing, and like, I just love it. Right, I'm gonna do my mascara off camera because I won't be able to talk whilst doing it. Or will I? Oh, actually I can still talk, but it's just gonna be an embarrassing face. Okay, the next question is, how have you made a relationship last at your, like, at being a young age? So I've been with my boyfriend for nearly 2 years, which is crazy. Like, it's kind of like, it's gone too fast, if you know what I mean. But so I met him when we were 16. But yeah, we just became like such good friends. Like, we had such a good friendship, and whilst like I really liked him, we really liked each other, and obviously we got together in the end. But we became such good friends that we were so comfortable around each other. Like, we're both quite like weird, if you know what I mean. Like we're quite weird together, but I love that about us. Like I feel like I can properly be myself around him. Like I don't have to pretend to be someone I'm not or anything like that. So I generally think like making sure like you have a really good friendship and like you can talk to each other about anything, and like you can have a laugh together, and like you can completely be yourself. Communicating, obviously communication is so different for everyone. I've also done one eye with mascara, but not that one. Before anyone says anything, I'm gonna do it, but I just keep talking. But obviously communication is so important, and it's completely okay to argue like your way of communicating like together, because communication for everyone can be so different. Like some people don't like talking in person, some people would rather text, or some people would rather, you know, like communicate in different ways, and that's like okay. I think as long as you find a way that you can both be honest with each other about how you're feeling. Like for example, if I'm having like an anxious day or just like a shit day, I kind of like, because we always like, we have like daily debriefs, like we'll FaceTime each other every day to have like a daily debrief, but I would always tell him before, I'm just warning you, like I'm not in a good mood, it's not your fault, like you haven't done anything, it's just like my general mood, just so like he knows, so then he won't like get upset, for example, like thinking he's done something, if that makes sense. Like just communicating like my feelings that day. That's just like obviously one example, but and obviously it's so normal to argue. Like I think because like if you think you're being so vulnerable and so honest with someone, you're gonna argue. Designating time for each other, whether that's in person or it's over like the call, like calling and stuff, like texting, just like updating each other, like that's kind of what we do. So just like having time for each other, but also not suffocating each other. So like he'll go out with his friends, I can go out with my friends. Yeah, I'm gonna do my other mascara eye. I mean my my other eye with mascara. Generally my top 3 things would just be like being good friends really helps, and then obviously communication and designating time for each other and spending time for each other in whatever way works for you. Okay guys, that is the end of the Q&A. I mean, I've just literally waffled for about half an hour. This is the makeup. Let me try, I can't show you, but yeah, this is the no makeup look. I am going to take my hair out, get dressed and tackle my long to-do list. But thank you so much for watching, and if you made it to the end, let me know. And yeah, I really enjoyed chatting with you, and I'd love to know how you are and what's new with you, and obviously let me know any video requests. If there were any questions and there's anything that I talked about that you might like me to talk about more or like expand on, let me know, and I'm very happy to do more videos because I love talking. But yeah, have an amazing day and I'll see you very soon.